But yeah, I mean, I did feel, I would say, it was a special childhood.
एंड जब आप ऑन स्क्रीन में बहुत अच्छे दोस्त बन जाते हो या फिर प्ले करते हो तो ऑफ स्क्रीन एज वेल कहीं ना कहीं जाके दैट लेवल ऑफ बॉन्डिंग व्हेन यू आर ऑफ सेम सिमिलर एज ग्रुप वगैरह वो रहता ही है. आई एम श्योर विद सनी एज वेल, लाइक सनी सिंह, विद कार्तिक एज वेल.
Well, I think, our journeys take our path. I don't I definitely miss that bonding. To sum it up, बहुत लोग, बहुत actors मैंने देखा है strategize करते हैं, मैं ये करूँगा, फिर मैं वो करता हूँ. I mean, I didn't get that kind of opportunities post Punchnama too.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about quality work, यार बचपन में हम लोग जो करते हैं वो ये है कि यार टाइम पास करते हैं, खेल कूद वगैरह एक्सेट्रा, which is also important, but not many people actually have that ability कि यार बचपन में खेल कूद के साथ साथ पढ़ाई लिखाई, काम, everything at the same time all together, and then eventually जाके अलग अलग तरीकों से प्यार जीतना, ऐसे तरीके से प्यार जीतना कि उसका अगर पंचनामा भी हो, then also you don't really care because that's exactly the amount of love that this man has got. Thank you so much, Omkar Kapoor, for joining me over here on a special conversation. You got to tell me something. Like I said in the very beginning, we'll talk about your career, पंचनामा वगैरह के बारे में तो बात करेंगे, लेकिन उसके पहले you have had this very interesting journey where I have heard that you have said stuff like यार बचपन में जब मैं काम करता था, I used to get a special treatment from my teachers, as fellow students around. Of course, natural बात है, because काम के साथ साथ पढ़ाई के साथ साथ you are getting that additional attention on TV वगैरह etc. मुझे बताओ कि तब थोड़ा अलग महसूस होता था कि यार मैं स्टार बन गया. अभी इवेंचुअली विद टाइम यू रियलाइज कि वो मैच्योरिटी होता है एंड यू शुड बी ग्राउंडेड, बट बचपन में कहाँ समझ में आता था? वो स्टार वाला फीलिंग आता था कि नहीं?
वेल झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा, आई थिंक आता था. थोड़ी थोड़ी डेफिनेटली स्पेशल फीलिंग आती थी बिकॉज व्हेन यू सी योर टीचर्स and your principal treating you slightly more sweetly and special way than other students, so you feel कि हाँ कुछ तो मेरे में special है, शायद इसलिए हो रहा है. But as I grew up, I realized that obviously because it was a little bit of the fame and because I took part in a lot of dance competitions and dramatics in my school, which they were very happy about. I think that's why that special attention was from them. But yeah, I mean, I did feel, I would say, it was a special childhood. But I wouldn't say it was probably anything else or stardom or anything like that. I don't consider myself that. I think that is something that was not my focus.
How sweet is that? And that's a very nice way of keeping yourself grounded and steady, because I think वो head steady nature is something that takes you forward in the long run. मुझे बताओ, of course, everybody knows about प्यार का पंचनामा 2. It's a brand in itself, and it's a cult in itself. People have been asking for the third version for the longest time. अलग-अलग तरीके का प्यार etc. You've always been getting. But what I really loved was that कि after getting that amount of fame and popularity and love in movies, तुमने अपने आप को रोका नहीं कि यार मैं मूवी ही किया है तो चलो I can't go back to something like a television. It is a very very important aspect, and another person I think who has done that very successfully, पहले श्रेयस तलपड़े. He was also doing great work in movies, but then he surprised everybody by coming as a lead actor in a television, in a Marathi serial, that too. You also did your bit in movies. A lot of people are not brave enough to take that call because उनको लगता है कि यार how will my positioning be as an actor? Because it's not just about what you do, it's also about how others perceive of you, right?
Correct.
So वो डर के वजह से बहुत लोग नहीं करते कि यार अभी तो यार मैं अगर stereotype हो जाऊंगा as a TV actor, फिर movies कहाँ से मिलेगा? वो डर तुमने नहीं रखा, which is why you could do whatever you did, right? But initially वो difficult था to take that call, या फिर it was more of a gut feeling?
I think definitely वो आपको एक एक thought definitely cross करता है कि how will people perceive you. But I think when you are in the start of your journey, I think what you got to do is make the most of your opportunities that are coming your way as an actor. I think to sum it up, you know, बहुत लोग बहुत actors मैंने देखा है strategize करते हैं, मैं ये करूँगा फिर मैं वो करता हूँ फिर मैं ऐसे sometimes they work. I have personally not experienced that happening in my case, and most of the cases and most of the actors that I've spoken to actually sometimes you know, what's destined to be yours will come your way, I think.
Correct.
You got to just keep working. I think definitely do try and do quality work, because that's what builds your body of work. Even if you're doing, say, different mediums like television, web or whatever, but I think if you keep trying to do quality of work in something that you know your strength and weaknesses as an actor, तो आप उस पे कैपिटलाइज अगर आप मेनली कर रहे हो, ना कि आप उस प्रोजेक्ट पे कोशिश कर रहे हो कि यू नो, अगर आप वो डिस्प्ले कर सकते हो और आप एक कनेक्शन ऑडियंस के साथ बना सकते हो, आई थिंक देन आई थिंक थिंग्स बिकम स्मूदर एंड यू नो यू गेट support from the audience and the love from the audience, and I think that's what even the people who are casting or the producers or the channels or whosoever, I think they are bound to then cast you, because if you form that connection. So I think the pursuit should be towards forming that connection with the audience. I think maybe that's why in today's time so many social media influencers are connecting, because they're connecting with the audience, and you know they have that connection, and somehow that's what bringing them popularity.
Correct.
So not to do with they have done any kind of great performances or anything like that, but I think it's to do with that mainly. So your pursuit should be that rather than anything else. Is what I feel.
You know, there's this saying that you know, if you want to make God laugh, then you should plan, right?
Yeah.
But you know, when you get a certain amount of success, popularity, craze, मैं बोलूँ अगर mass में तो you know, there is subconsciously a certain amount of planning that goes in our mind कि अरे यार चलो ये अच्छा हो गया, अभी आगे जाके ये करना है, ये करने की कोशिश करूंगा मैं. After प्यार का पंचनामा 2 as well, everybody was talking about, you know, you, Kartik, Sunny, Nusrat, everybody at the same time, and like I said, it's a brand in itself. So much so that people are also asking literally कि third वाला part कब आएगा, but then let's leave it to love, sir. But you know, that movie literally gave you the kind of fandom that perhaps you always have deserved right from childhood. But eventually जाके after the movie things might have not worked according to your kind of plan जो शायद तुमने सोचा था, and it has got nothing to do with you. आप मेहनत करते हो, sometimes luck works in your favor, sometimes luck doesn't work in your favor. When you go through a dark patch like that, you know, do you handle stress, do you handle depression, do you handle कि यार मतलब मैंने सब कुछ अच्छा किया, मेहनत किया, but why is it not happening the way it should have happened? Like say with a Kartik or a Nusrat, their career literally took off after that movie, right?
Yeah, I think definitely those comparisons do come in, and I think वो मेरे केस में I think मुझसे ज़्यादा I think लोग जो आसपास होते हैं वो ज़्यादा compare करते हैं. But I think each individual has its own journey. I feel you know, sometimes you know, things might have not worked out because of your own decisions, which at that time felt that you know they were right, or due to your own lack of maturity as to how to handle situations or a you know certain high of life. I think yeah, so each one handles differently, and I think each one's journey and बोलते ना कि वो सबका रास्ता अलग है, ऐसा डिटोर कभी कभी होता है. So definitely, I mean, things didn't go in my favor, or things didn't, I mean, I didn't get that kind of opportunities post Punchnama 2. There were certain opportunities which probably I missed out on, and yes, I think so.
By saying you missed out on, what do you mean? Like you did not accept that kind of work which eventually worked out to be success?
Well, I think a few of them were mutual decisions between the makers and me, and I think that didn't work out well in my favor, I feel, but it's okay. I think you know, it's a process. Sometimes you know, a lot of actors, big stars that we know, also wait and pursue a certain film for a year. They do the prep and certain things don't work out. Definitely it's disheartening, it's heartbreaking, but you got to pick yourself again and just move on. That's all you can do. I think that's all that's in your control.
Absolutely.
Nothing beyond that. I've tried racking my brain, I've tried wondering why, you know, things aren't going the way it should be going, in spite of the potential I believe I have. But it's okay. I mean, I think, you know, sometimes, you know, some people bloom, and some people go to touch their peak of their success maybe at 25. Some people touch at 30, 35. Some people touch at their 40s and 50s as well. So I don't know what's destined for me, but all I know is just you know, the kind of belief that I started working with again in my second innings of my life. I think you gotta just stick to that, as hard as it gets, as difficult as it might be to believe that the light at the end of the tunnel is just around the corner.
Yes.
But that's the only way, I think.
I love that positive approach. You know, Pyaar Ka Punchnama is a movie which is not just about, I think, love or relationship. It is also about friendship, right?
Yeah.
And जब आप on screen में बहुत अच्छे दोस्त बन जाते हो या फिर play करते हो, तो off screen as well कहीं ना कहीं जाके that level of bonding when you're of same similar age group वगैरह वो रहता ही है.
Correct.
I'm sure with Sunny as well, like Sunny Singh,
Yeah.
with Kartik as well, that kind of vibe must have been there. But अभी जाके आप सबके रास्ते अलग अलग हो गए हैं. Do you miss perhaps your friendship with the Kartik or your friendship with the Sunny in the way it was at that point of time? Actively शायद उतना touch पे आप लोग रह पाते हो नहीं पाते हो, हम लोग को तो पता नहीं.
Well, I think, you know, our journeys take our path. You know, I don't. I definitely miss that bonding. I think maybe if we do a film together, maybe we'll bond, pick up where we left. I think that's what friends, real friends are. But मैं अगर ये सोचूं कि मैं अगर कोई फिल्म कर रहा होता या मैं, you know, if I was really busy in my journey, I wouldn't also have the time to do, you know, spare time to give my friends that much time. So I don't blame any of them actually.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think it's a matter of time. I think if we happen to do a film together, it will be the same, because whenever once in a blue moon we meet now, me and Kartik, I think I don't feel that, you know, that change in him as such towards me, at least I can say. You know, we still talk the same way, we still faff the same way, we still have those silly jokes going on. So I think that's what matters, I think. Yeah.
So basically आपका जो दोस्ती है with कार्तिक और सनी,
Yeah.
you don't really miss that because कहीं ना कहीं जाके WhatsApp है, messages है वगैरह, you know, you keep it in touch with each other on social media हो या कुछ भी हो, so at least एक connection जो है वो completely off track नहीं हुआ है. You might be doing your own thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think yeah, we keep in touch. We try to as much on birthdays and, you know, gatherings or reunions and stuff, that we definitely try to do that. But everyone, you know, हर कोई अपनी जिंदगी बनाने में लगा हुआ है. I think so. Yeah, I think that's what even my most of the time obviously goes in. You know, what can I do next, or how can I pursue next? So definitely, I think it'll be more fun rather than a holiday being, you know, doing together. It'll be more fun if we start working again.
Yeah.
I think that'll be.
I think it's not just about you. I think a lot of people would want to see all three of you perhaps in the movie, because वो team की शक्ति है ना, three musketeers. You guys are actually that.
Probably Punchnama 3 happens, but I think that's.
Love Sir सुन रहे हो? I hope you actually.
I think only Love Sir will know.
Love Sir will know that as well. Lots of love to you as well, Love Sir, on that note. But मुझे बताओ कि हर एक एक्टर का सक्सेस फेज होता है, लो फेज होता है एंड मिडिल ग्राउंड होता है, राइट? As somebody who has to balance both success and failure, तुम अपने आप को कैसे सक्षम रखते हो so that you know कि यार चलो सक्सेस मिला, it should not get into my head, फेलियर भी हो रहा है, I should not let it stress me out so much कि कल को मैं जाके काम पे ही ना जाऊँ.
Yeah. I think definitely you learn this as you face it. I feel you know, कोई भी होता है ना कि माँ के पेट से नहीं सीख के आता. I think you learn it as you face it. So definitely in the start you feel a little uneasiness with the kind of phase that you're stuck in, and you feel like, why aren't things cracking? But I think the most important, and especially for actors, is the most important thing is to keep working on your mental health.
Absolutely.
And to keep having a stability, a balance, a routine in your day-to-day life. That's, I think, what, even if things are going west or east, you know, north or south, if you have your core, your center right, if you have a support system, if you have your people, if your family, your your friends, your support system right, the ups and downs definitely they will come, but it will not hit as hard as what I feel.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of a padding and is necessary for any person, I think. So yeah, I think it definitely you do feel that, but I think I'm also learning how to deal with it. Definitely, I have my own phases of downs and irritation and frustrations of how to how to go about things, and you don't know how your how to get answers of certain situations. But you got to just be at it, keep doing what you're doing, and just believe in it that things will change. That's all.
मुझे बताओ, जिंदगी का एक रूल है कि जब एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग इन योर वे, तब सामने से बहुत लोग फोन करते हैं, मैसेजेस करते हैं, चढ़ते सूरज को सलाम होता है, लेकिन उस टाइम पे जो लोग आपके साथ अच्छे रहते हैं, सिमिलर शायद जब उस टाइम पे कुछ जब अच्छा नहीं जा रहा है, शायद कभी कभी अगर हम लोग उन्हीं लोगों को जब रीच आउट करते हैं फॉर डिफरेंट, इट माइट नॉट बी फॉर वर्क ऑल द टाइम, इट माइट बी अ सर्टेन सेंस ऑफ मेंटोरिंग एज वेल, राइट, कि शायद ये सीनियर है, मैं शायद थोड़ा गलत जा रहा हूँ, फिर मुझे अगर थोड़ा गाइडेंस भी मिल जाए, इट माइट बी बेनिफिशियल फॉर मी. Have you ever had that situation where perhaps you're dealing with a tough phase professionally, things are not going that way, you reached out to someone, your call whether you want to take a name or not, but you reached out to someone out of that leap of faith कि यार ये इंसान जो है ये शायद मेरा मदद करेगा या करेगी, but then that person didn't even bother to revert because maybe things are not going that way in your favor, so कौन देखेगा, कौन टाइम देगा वगैरह. वैसा इग्नोरेंस या वैसा कभी कुछ डाउनराइट चेंज ऑफ बिहेवियरल पैटर्न आपने फेस किया है कभी भी किसी के साथ?
I think more than I feel, I'll not lie. I definitely I have felt it at times with the people you have worked with also, and they have their behavior or their your importance in their eyes have changed, and but that's I think
बुरा लगता है तब उस टाइम पे.
I think you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. You can't do anything about it. You've got to just say that, okay, fine, I probably lost this match, and it's okay. I'll come back, practice, make myself better, and play a better game at doing next. I think it's to do with finding those opportunities again to kind of bring your game back. What I miss is probably the love from the audience, I think, and I think that when it changed or when it probably disappeared or when it lacks, and obviously from the people who praised your work, but then because you've not had a film since long, so they feel it doesn't bring in value to the table, should be casted more. Definitely that pinches a bit, but that's I think the rule of the game. I think, or that's probably how it is in all over the world, in every field, not just as actors probably. So it does, but it's okay.
मुझे बताओ, ओमकार कपूर's best day at work so far, जहाँ पे शूटिंग अच्छा हो रहा है, ऑडियंस पहचान रहे हैं, पीपल आर हाउंडिंग यू फॉर सेल्फीज एंड फोटोज एंड ऑटोग्राफ्स वगैरह एक्सेट्रा. अगर मैं बोलूँ दैट वन हाईलाइट डे ऑफ योर लाइफ सो फार व्हिच यू रिमेंबर, जिसके मेमोरीज अभी भी फ्रेश है तुम्हारे दिमाग में?
Well, see, luckily I had my stint with fame in my childhood itself, so I saw a lot of it. So it wasn't something that was new to me.
बड़े हो जाने के बाद फिर अलग तरीके.
Yeah, definitely. I'm saying that was not something that
was new to you.
हाँ, and probably that didn't बोलते ना कि उस चीज ने मेरा मतलब बोलते ना कि probably that didn't shake my head or I felt like
मैं कुछ और ही बन गया हूँ.
हाँ, no, that wasn't the case. I think probably and I don't work, that is हर इंसान का एक ड्राइविंग फैक्टर होता है. I think what drives you. I think definitely name, fame, money, success, recognition, social gratification. I think all these are a byproduct of the success that you're chasing in life. So definitely these things do matter, and in terms of being, positioning yourself like as an actor. But I think the audience love, I think, definitely matters a lot, because like I said, once you form that connection with them, that is what is the most important thing I feel.
मुझे एक चीज बताओ, it's a personal observation, correct me if I'm wrong. अभी जो है PR का जमाना है, right? तुम कुछ शायद अच्छा किए हो या नहीं किए हो, डजंट मैटर. इतना पैसा अगर मैं दे दूंगा पेपरजी को, मेरे को स्पॉट करने के लिए आ जाएंगे, मैं हर दिन इंस्टाग्राम पे दिखता रहूंगा ऑडियंस के लिए. आई डोंट थिंक यू बिलोंग टू दैट कैटेगरी एट ऑल, बिकॉज तुम अगर कहीं भी कोई पार्टी में भी चले जाओ फिल्म इंडस्ट्री के, तुम उतने कॉन्शियसली ज्यादा दिखते नहीं हो. अगर कोई दिख गया, ग्रुप दिख गया, लेकिन फ्रॉम योर एंड यू एक्टिवली डू नॉट पुट इन दैट एफर्ट कि भाई मुझे देखो, भाई मुझे देखो. डू यू समटाइम्स फील कि बिकॉज ऑफ दिस वेरी नेचुरल अप्रोच तुम ओवर नहीं करते उस चीज को, इसके वजह से भी ऑल्सो समटाइम्स you feel you might have missed out on certain opportunities because perhaps you don't put up that much of effort on your PR game as well?
I want to ask you, and probably the ones who do it also, does it really work?
It doesn't work, but then
that's
still...
because it's not like I have not fallen in that trap of,
जो दिखता है वो बिकता है.
नहीं, दिखता है, पर्दे पर दिखे तो आप बिकोगे. जो अगर आप पार्टीज में दिख रहे हो, अगर आप सोशलाइजिंग में, अगर आप एयरपोर्ट स्पॉटिंग.
That's a very good point.
So I think that is not going to break in or pick up the momentum of your work. I think only good work, and definitely box office numbers, or that definitely does matter as a performer, as an actor, as a saleable actor.
Yeah.
If that is what is you should be chasing, because once you have that by your side, it becomes easier for the producers, for the directors to cast you, because they feel that you have that mountability on you.